Hi, this is Tammy Mon with Empowered Beyond Belief. In this video, I'm going to talk about my art. It's not just a pretty design. It is created to empower you. You could say that my art is an energy harmonizing mechanism. Most of the pieces you're seeing here are copper on canvas. You can see more on my website. The copper is first wound and then arranged into a sacred shape. Now, if you've seen a guitar string vibrate when there's a sound next to it, you can imagine that my art operates in the same way. It's almost like a harmonic filter for energy. And you might wonder why this is important. Let me show you. First, I would like to show you a very valuable tool that I've been using. It's called the Tri-Field 2. You can get this one and a variety of other different kinds of this equipment from many different places. This particular one has worked very well for my purposes. I mostly use the red RF radio frequency setting on the right. It tells me the current level of radio and frequency that I'm experiencing. I can feel the energy of cell phones and towers, and I minimize the amount of EMF that I'm around. It helps my health and makes me feel better in general. I want to start with this secondary router here. This is not the main router. This router does not have Wi-Fi attached to it. The highest it goes is about 0.16, 0.17. Now you can read this monitor in a few different ways. You can look at the large numbers on the bottom, which are the average reading. You can look at the peak reading on the top left corner. You can look at the band, that's a percentage, or you can listen to the sound that it makes. The more radio frequency, the louder the sound. This is the main router that is active with Wi-Fi. Okay, it has screen around it as well, as you can see. So you can see the pulses of what's going up here, and it's not necessarily this bottom number. That's important. It's looking up here. You see, it's pulsing up to right now above 3. And if this screen weren't on here, it'd be pulsing way higher. So there you go, yeah. The screen really helps a lot, but you can see that this router is putting out quite a signal. Now we're heading out, but before we head out, I want to show you what my cell phone measurements are with and without Wi-Fi. The measurements without Wi-Fi vary from about 0.013 to about 0.02. Now let's turn the Wi-Fi on. Please excuse the glare. Please note when looking at this meter that the steady number on the bottom is somewhat of an average figure. The figure that you want to pay attention to is the number on the top, which is the peak that it achieves. In Wi-Fi signals, the signal is sent in a pulse, so it's going to pulse at a peak. The highest signal without Wi-Fi was up to a 0.2. The highest signal with Wi-Fi was up to a 5.3. So you can see why I leave my Wi-Fi on my phone off most of the time. This might be a good time to talk about the preferred levels of EMF. What is acceptable? And it really depends on who you ask. I found this on the Tri-Field website. It says that the preferred level of EMF is 0.2 or 1 peak for RF. The Tri-Field measures in milliwatts per square meter, but if you look at the FCC's website, they tell you that 580 microwatts per square centimeter is okay in the case of cellular towers and PCS cell site transmitters. 580 microwatts per square centimeter equals 58 microwatts per square meter, as far as I can gather. So the FCC is telling us that 58 microwatts per square meter would be acceptable. I'm not sure about other people, but I have a problem with about 2 milliwatts per square meter, so 58, I don't know. Now we're going to go on a field trip and check out 3 cell towers. So we're heading toward a tower right now. I'm turning right into the center where there's a tower. A 5G tower. I just want to show you the difference in the reading. I normally do not go by these. I don't like to. You can already see where we're at here, where we're getting to. Here's the tower. Here's the reading. This one's actually not bad compared to some of them. I'll have to go get a different reading on one that has like the outrageous. This one's spiking at, I can't see what it's spiking at right now, but it's spiking. So this particular one is blocked off over here, and there's only one good way to get a reading, and so we're going to walk. Here's the reading right now. Okay, now we're doing some spiking here. Over here watching. I took the video of this tower yesterday. It seemed to have disappeared, so I went back and took it again today. And today when I went back, there was a man there. He was working on the tower, and more on that later. I want you to notice this tower. I want you to notice the quantity of rectangular attachments. This one has quite a few. And I believe I've identified an association with the amount of attachments and the level of radio frequency, but you decide for yourself. I want to round out this video with some pictures of my art, and I also want to round it out with some tips, some things that I have learned about EMF over the years that I'd like to share with you. So sleep is so important. You need your sleep to restore your body's health. Your body goes into a repair mode every single night. And what do you think happens if you have EMF signals, radio frequency signals, hitting your body all night? Your body is working on protecting you from the signals, and it's not able to repair itself. This is not one of those videos that's meant to create fear, just to give you some information and show you my product. My advice would be measure your room. Make sure your room is low to no EMF at night so that you can sleep and your body can repair itself. Unplug your Wi-Fi at night. Hardwire your computers if you need to. Also, if you cover your routers in aluminum screening, it reduces the amount of EMF coming off of your router that's harmful to your body, and it doesn't reduce the effectiveness of your router very much. Try it and see. If you turn your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth off on your cell phone when you're not using it, you'll also be doing yourself a favor, especially if you keep your phone in your pocket. Protect your kids. Understand that your kids go to school with many other kids, and they all have cell phones, and they all have Wi-Fi on them. Make sure that their bedroom at night is also low EMF so that their bodies can repair from any damage that might be done throughout the day. When I went to the third tower and I met the man who worked on the cell phone tower, I asked him if he had any concerns about being around EMF so often. He said that when the radiation at the tower gets above a certain level, they have to turn the tower off for him to work on it. He has a meter similar to mine that measures the level. I asked him what that level was, and he said it's 50%. And I'm not sure if his meter is different than mine, but mine has that percentage band, and I would think that at 50% on that band is when he would have to turn the tower off to work on it. You can also buy materials that are made of metal fibers that block the EMF signals. I lined my phone case with one of those. You have to wrap it pretty tight if you want to block all the signal, but mine isn't wrapped tight, so I can still get my texts, while at the same time blocking much of the harmful EMF that might be coming through.
I think that one of the things we have to adjust to for EMF in the future, especially if you're sensitive, is that blocking can only go so far. You can't always block the EMF. And sometimes when you try to block it, you make it stronger if you box yourself in with EMF and allow the signal to bounce around. This is why I created my art. If you can't block the signal, then why not harmonize the signal? And yes, our bodies are capable of harmonizing the signal. But I feel like my art helps me with that. The copper, crystal, aluminum, and gemstones, as well as the neodymium magnets that I put in my art, help to harmonize the energy in a room. I also make wearable harmonizers as jewelry, and I create unique and powerful orgone. I hope this presentation has been informative for you and that it helps you and your family stay healthy and be well. For more information, please visit empoweredbeyondbelief.com. Thanks for listening and have an empowered day.